Offbeat Cinema, brought to you by Mighty Taco. For 50 years, everyone in Buffalo and beyond has enjoyed the great taste of Mighty. Find out more at mightytaco.com. And by Extreme Discount Mattress. George Costello sells mattresses for less, a lot less, in-store and online at extrememattress.com.
Welcome, cats, bats, and groovy chicks. Welcome to the Hungry Ear and Offbeat Cinema. Of course, my name is Bird, and I'm here with the ever-mysterious Zelda and our cinematic theologian, Theo.
Well, hello, Bird. And hello to all of you out there on the other side of the flat screen. Thanks for joining us. And hello, Theo.
Hello, all. And boy, do we have something special for you tonight. Because we're living La Vida Loca.
Yes, we are. Because tonight, our offbeat epic comes to us from south of the border.
South of the border? Man, I dig that so much. I just love New Jersey.
Even a little farther than that, Bird. Just a little farther. It's Mexico. It's Invasion of the Vampires, which was first unleashed way back in 1963.
Oh man, Invasion of the Vampires. You know, I always say, give me a good, spicy Mexican film every day of the week.
Ouch, you do always say that. But according to Theo, there was a whole series of Mexican vampire movies made back around that time.
Yes, there were, Zella, and they're all pretty much wildly entertaining, and that certainly includes tonight's film. You know, really, it is a gem.
That's great, because, you know, I always feel like vampires are a real pain in the neck.
Anyway, cats, tonight's film has everything you could want. Great atmosphere, a lot of vampires, and some very, shall we say, creative dubbing.
Yeah, well, you know, Zelda, that's because this comes to us courtesy of the great impresario K. Gordon Murray, who was the king of bad dubbing. But you know, these films wouldn't be the same without it.
Hey, wait. Now, K. Gordon Murray, isn't he the cat that did that Santa Claus movie we show on Offbeat Cinema?
No, one and the same, Bird, one and the same.
Well, I gotta say, you know, and here we are on Offbeat Cinema, I thought, what could possibly be weirder than Santa Claus conquers the Martians, and along comes Santa vs. Satan for the fate of the world?
Oh, that was just another one of K. Gordon's Mexican imports.
Okay, boys, this will be fun, so let's get to it. Cats and chicks, here's Invasion of the Vampires. Yes, tonight on Offbeat Cinema. I know you're so excited.
I'm so excited because I want you to stay tuned, because we'll be back with your mail with lots more about K. Gordon Murray and whatever else we can think of. I'm so excited.
That's right, Bird. Viva la Mighty Taco.
Dig that.
Dig it.
Casio, it's Paulino.
That's right, Crescencio. He shouldn't have gone to the lake.
This is frightening. That awful pallid look. It makes a man shudder.
Just like the others. He's paler than a dead man.
Did he go to the woods?
Don't they always? Where they come near the water's edge? Come on now.
You saw what occurred. Didn't I tell you? Why don't you do as I suggested and stay the night in my village? Tragedy attacks on these moonlit nights at the Hacienda, I swear.
They're only superstitions.
Oh, no, sir. I tell you that some young man dies when full moon is upon us.
But that's a coincidence. How does the moon affect the situation?
On these nights, the Count's spirit goes to the lake. He lives in hell.
Such stark ignorance.
Well, I guess it's like you say, sir, but we had better turn around and go back now.
You can go return if you like. I'll go on to the haunted hacienda anyway.
With your permission, then, please leave my carriage in town at the alcalde's house.
Don't worry, you'll have it back tonight. I have a letter of presentation for the Senor Marquis, Don Gonzalo Guzman de la Selva.
At this late hour, sir.
I was delayed a little. I've been traveling 10 days. My home is in the capital. I wonder where there's a hacienda farther away than this.
Let me see. Follow us, please.
I welcome you to this humble house, Dr. Ulysses Albaran.
Thank you, Senor Marquis. My professor was not mistaken when he assured me that I'd be courteously received by Your Excellency.
Your professor and I, more than very good friends,
Are almost like brothers. And in spite of the many long years that have separated us, we still have a great deal of affection for each other.
But please sit down, Doctor, in that chair right there. Now tell me, how is my friend Alejandro?
Why, he's younger than ever. Life seems to stand still for him.
Yes, yes. He always used to say that he created a special elixir to prolong his lifespan.
Nothing is impossible for such a sage who's realized fabulous experiments, sir. But this trip was motivated by certain fantastic studies that could revolutionize all that is known about the matter. We realized that this beautiful hacienda is the best place to make the experiments that could furnish us with proof.
Right here?
Yes, Senor Marquis. The professor seems to think that this region around here is ideal.
In that case, Doctor, are we going to be seeing Count Cagliostro?
No, Senor Marquis. That's impossible just at the moment. That's why he sent me here. You see, sir, I'm his most advanced student in this specialty.
I do hope that this is not an indiscretion.
But exactly what is the subject that you're studying?
I study vampires.
Could you please tell me just why your teacher thinks that here?
I don't know, sir. But the man has such knowledge. He's wise, the same as his great-grandfather, Jose Balsamo. But I'd swear that he maintains a certain magical power, and with this he is more astute than other mortals are. I think he must be psychic. That's the only way to explain it.
Well, how can I be useful?
I'd like to work on this new project in your house.
You're welcome here. My house is yours, sir, as long as you deem it necessary.
The man can't stay here not 1 minute longer.
Who says he can't stay?
I do.
When anyone visits this house and is sent by Count Cagliostro, then I'll consider him my friend and my guest.
But the Marquis knows that he can't stay a moment longer. It's quite impossible.
That's enough, Fraulein Hildegard. I said Dr. Albaran can't stay.
And I warn you, Senor Marquis. This is extremely dangerous, you know.
But you would like to experience a little danger, wouldn't you?
This is it.
What's happening?
That's Father Victor, and he's calling to that young fellow's soul. Now it's with the devil, and he wants it to return.
What?
Yes, the priest says that the devil is the one that murdered all these boys. And he thinks he can straighten things out through prayer.
You've confused me, old fellow.
Don't you hear good?
Well, I don't understand, I must admit it. Now then, please explain. Exactly what deaths are you talking about? And how does Satan figure in this?
Well, I'm confused too, sir. Guess I'm ignorant because I don't understand. Why don't you begin asking Senor Maximo?
And just who is he?
He's the alcalde here. His boy's the one that died. He's the judge and the law enforcer.
Tell the mayor, then, that I want to talk to him.
Right away, sir. Alcalde, sir. It's this way. I'll take you. The alcalde will be here in a moment, sir. Excuse me, please.
What can I do for you? Please excuse the interruption at this tragic hour. I'd like to extend my sincere sympathy knowing that your boy was killed tonight. Thank you. But permit me to introduce myself first. Dr. Ulysses Albaran, your servant.
I'll not talk to persons that abide in the haunted hacienda, young man.
I might be able to help you, although you can't accept that.
Ah, why should I need your services? My son's been killed.
There are things worse than death, Mayor.
No, nothing's worse in my mind than never seeing my son again.
Listen, would you want your son to return as a living human to all effects and purposes, but quite dead in reality, with a mission to create havoc and panic in other humans' hearts?
Are you ridiculing me and my son, making light of my tears and agony? You're about to learn just what I do to all charlatans.
You're not looking at any charlatan. I graduated as a doctor. I came here to begin work on a long experiment, sir, and I'm sure that it is closely related to these murders that have caused all this tragedy to your people. But I can't begin alone. I need your aid in this undertaking. You all can help me. Do you know how it began in the first place, Alcalde?
One lonely moonlit night, the Count and Countess went to take a ride around midnight. A while later, the horses returned to the hacienda terrified. And then the next day, they ran across the corpse of the Countess lying there on the shores of the Dead Man's Lake. And the Count just disappeared completely, like the earth had swallowed him. You know those cases.
Who's the Count you're referring to, Alcalde?
It is Count Frankenhausen.
Frankenhausen.
And the haunted hacienda that had been a blessing to the folks around here has turned into a curse that plagues us all. You see, on nights like tonight, the Count's gentle lady returns to this region. She goes from the Hacienda through the trees toward Dead Man's Lake, and there she disappears beneath the cold waters. The young men in my small village go crazy. One usually escapes to follow her down to the lakeside. And the next day they find his body in the same spot that the Countess was killed. And you know what makes me shudder? Their drained, pallid complexion that no other dead body has.
It happened to my son. There are so many important facts in all that you've told me that now I think we may soon clear up these mysterious deaths.
Well, I'm sure now that the deaths aren't mysterious, Doctor. I know before I made fun of Father Victor when he said that the devil killed them. Now that I've seen death close to me, I tell you that Satan is the one who robs their spirits when they're out there. For example, other parents start to do desperate things.
They begin to stray away from God. Those murders are the work of Satan.
Cats and chicks, we hope you are grooving on tonight's offbeat cinema classic, Invasion of the Vampires. We'll be getting back to Count Frankenhausen and company in a few, but right now it's time to take a bite out of one of our favorite parts of the show.
Oh, like now that can only mean one thing.
Yeah, the mail
is in, baby. And man, we've got some real pearls, if you want to even call them pearls. This one is from a cat in Grand Rapids, Michigan, who is really on or severely off the beam. Our friend Jasper, who addresses us, "Hey, rats and nudes." How about that?
Okay.
He says, according to Jasper, the two greatest bad movies are Pray for the Wildcats with Andy Griffiths and William Shatner. I mean, just that alone, Andy Griffiths and William Shatner is good enough for me, but it's Dirt Bikers Gone Nuts. And then he also talks about a real cult classic, Run Home Slowly with Mercedes McCambridge, which has an early 60s soundtrack by none other than Frank Zappa.
That's right, yeah.
How about it? He's begging us to find these flicks, and he says they won't disappoint even the most demented minds. I think you're right up there with us, Jasper. Thanks for writing. And he tells us how he loved Werewolves on Wheels and The Hideous Sun Demon. He never misses our shows, and he asks the burning question, what are beatniks?
Oh, Jasper, you are our kind of people.
I have an answer for you, Jasper. Just keep watching.
That's right. That's where the answer is. It's up there.
What you got?
Saying that for years. Well, Cats, this is kind of special because this comes to us all the way from Central America. And
wow.
That's
really
this,
south
this
of the
is
border.
Our friend William from Central America, from Belize in Central America. And he says, to the beats at OBC, Zelda Bird Theater, Cats and Chicks. Greetings from Belize. And yes, I are here. And here I thought myself to be the last of my breed. Clearly not. Be wise, and if you can't be wise, be foolish. That's from William in Belize, Central America. Thank you very much, William. You know, is there any place on this planet that we don't reach?
We've got it all. We've got it all. We covered it all.
I don't know, but that was great, William.
That's
Thank you
wonderful.
so much
Yes.
for and yet a postcard. I just
Nice.
love getting
Yes.
postcards.
What do you have here,
This
Zelda?
now is a really surprise, special treat from a fan who took the time, and this is just extraordinary
Wow,
stuff.
look at
so I
this.
was saving it for last.
Look at this.
And someone created.
Oh, nice.
Goodness.
Nice.
And that someone is Brian Phillips, who hails from, well, I think he hails from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. At least that's where he hails from now. And Brian, this is extraordinary. We thank you so much for taking the time to do this exquisite. This is such an exquisite placard.
really
The
nice.
funniest
And we
thing
were-
about this is that these cats look exactly like us.
Well, that's just
How
coincidence.
can you get?
That's just coincidence.
We were examining on the craftsmanship of it and just how you did it. So
It's very cool.
so thank you so much.
Definitely
for this.
going to become a permanent part of our set here on Offbeat Cinema.
Yes,
You'll be seeing these pop up all
You'll be seeing this. You'll be seeing this on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah.
And we'll thank you for the gift. We will
Absolutely.
share.
It's
Well,
fantastic.
cats, remember, you can always take pen in hand or wood-burning kit, as it be, and drop us a line to the address that you're looking at on your screen. You can also friend us on Facebook, follow us on all the social medias, Twitter, Instagram, and our huge YouTube channel with lots of cool stuff.
And of course, there's our hip and I'm gonna hold it up too.
Yeah.
Our hip and happening website, which you can find at Offbeat Cinema TV. And in addition to everything you've ever wanted to know about Offbeat Cinema, it's there. You can check out all the cool new stuff and OBC merch in our official Offbeat Cinema online store called Mad Swag.
Yes, indeed, Zelda. But right now, let's get back to the invasion of the vampires tonight on Offbeat Cinema.
Coming now, so you must make haste. Don't worry about the stranger, for I drugged his food last night.
And we hereby, Senor Count Siegfriedo van Frankenhausen was united in matrimony with Senorita Eugenie Guzman de la Selva, who was heir to the Marquis' estates. No, I'm sorry, there's nothing useful here.
Well then, right here I register the child's birth. The girl is called Brunhilde.
Mm-hmm. Named Brunhilde by the will of her father, Count Siegfriedo Frankenhausen. This is no help at all.
Then look here. This is a long list. I've registered their deaths right here.
Por la misteriosa enfermedad. Llevo un registro aparte. Y los cadáveres también.
They're not lying near the other bodies in the cemetery. Or you might say, it's a special section where I laid them.
Are you trying to say that they're not buried?
Certainly not. They'll get their burial when I can be totally sure that Satan and his aides didn't have anything to do with their deaths. Why, who can tell? They might stay there in that section until doomsday.
There are 23 here.
Including the young countess who heads the list.
In that case, sir, you know nothing about the situation then, nothing about this Count Frankenhausen?
I don't. No one does.
You're saying the Marquis granted his daughter's hand to a man that was only claiming royalty? He didn't investigate this Frankenhausen?
He did not. The Marquis is now paying the consequence for this. Since the Count disappeared that lonely night and his poor daughter died, he's been closed up in the Hacienda. And no one has visited him there either. Not in many months. Well, I forgot you.
But, the Count's daughter, Brunhilde.
Looks like she disappeared as well. There are some that say she followed her father, since she adored him so. She must have followed the scoundrel right down to Hades, where they were taken by Satan. Could be that they wanted to go there.
You don't put any credence in these strange stories, do you?
Why not? The old Marquis used to go to church, and now he denies God. And as for Count Frankenhausen, Nothing is strange because he's a heretic.
Now tell me, have you ever seen the coat of arms of Count Frankenhausen?
Never. Not even when I entered the Hacienda, when they still wanted me there. He didn't wear it upon his shirts, nor did I see it in the places where all the nobles do wear it. You know, that surprised me, too, because it's certainly unusual.
Should I confirm my suspicions? It's not strange at all. A man who wants to hide his origin has secrets. The coat of arms related to Frankenhausen is notable. And once you have seen it, you never can forget it. The whole setting is in black like the night. Also, there's a German shield in silver, and upon that a Gothic F in a red color, which represents death to the firstborn of each generation. There's a crown there, too. Sitting upon that, its long wings extended, totally black and very ugly, a lone vampire. I was looking for a book. I couldn't get to sleep.
Doctor, didn't you know it is prohibited to enter here? You are abusing my master's hospitality. You are rude and most ungentlemanly, sir. Respect our old customs here.
I'm sorry. But I'll apologize tomorrow, don't worry. Please tell me, where's the girl that fainted? She was there an instant ago.
I don't know anything about it. There's no one like that around this place.
Oh, come now. The young woman was there a moment ago.
I repeat, you are wrong. There is no girl in this place.
Do you think I'm so stupid? A moment ago I saw her. There!
You're imagining things, Doctor. I think it better that you return to the capital. I'd hate to see you in any trouble, and if you don't do so, that's exactly what awaits you in these woods.
Then I'm crazy. Is that your insinuation?
No, I insinuated nothing. Release me. You are not to return here, and remember this warning. You should know that the Marquis is very easily angered when his house guests try to meddle in his business in defiance of his orders.
Countess Frankenhausen.
Let's hope Father Victor doesn't learn I resorted to the sacrilege.
You're helping humanity. There's nothing to lament.
Just the same, I posted a man back there. I don't want anyone to find us.
Seldom have I seen facial features so much alike.
What's that?
She looks like the twin of a girl I saw last night at the Marquise. She's wearing the same clothes.
You saw her spirit at his house. That explains it.
Although it appears that it was her spirit, that's just not logical. That's part of the mystery that I'd like to unravel. There it is. See where he bit her? This confirms all the stories. And Count Frankenhausen is a vampire also.
A vampire? I thought I heard you say a vampire, sir?
Exactly. A vampire that wants blood. He's a killer. He commands all the others whose corpses appear to be harmless. But in reality, they are dangerous the way he is. Because those corpses are vampires.
Are you trying to say, Doctor, that my son has been...
I'm afraid so, Alcalde. I saw the marks on his neck. Your boy's a dead vampire for now, sir. I'm convinced that he's immobilized. He's commanded by his master who has them all in a cataleptic trance, waiting to receive orders to leave their coffins. To constitute a danger worse than death itself.
Could you tell us, sir, just when they're going to do that?
Yes, I can tell you. At the moment that he dies, the instant that Count Frankenhausen is captured and his heart is pierced by a wooden stake.
That means we're in terrible danger.
At Telesforo?
Nothing can happen to him as long as he keeps that torch in his hand. All vampires run from all kinds of fire, their worst enemy. Another man killed by the vampire.
The moon's not full tonight.
Doesn't matter. It's quite clear that we angered Count Frankenhausen. Opening his wife's tomb, he came to watch us.
Let's get the beast and destroy him.
Yes, that's right. He has to be destroyed or he'll come and destroy us. Because now he's really furious.
If things are getting that bad, I'll look for a safe place.
You could go and hide anywhere you wanted to and he'd get you there. He not only plans to attack us, the townspeople are in danger just the way we are. All humanity will die sooner or later if we fail now.
Doctor, you told me the other night that you were a specialist in this. So we'll all follow you. Tell us what's to be done. There's no time to lose.
Let's start burning the corpses.
Just an example. We'll burn my son first.
Stop right there. In the name of God, I order you to desist.
Now listen, you know that I lead these people. And I must use emergency measures so that they can't murder any more victims, Father.
And I'm ordering you.
Now, you don't want to see all human beings exposed to this terrible and consuming danger. And the only thing there is that works is to destroy them with fire.
If you throw them into the fire, I'll go into the flames and burn myself, too.
Father, you seem to forget he's my flesh and blood, and I'll do as I wish.
Don't you dare do anything, or I'll excommunicate you.
No, Alcalde, don't do it. This would mean war among the townspeople. we'd just be heaping tragedy upon tragedy. I'll think of something to avoid the invasion of the vampires.
How long is that going to take, since we can't wait much longer?
Give me time, I'll do it.
I advise you to hurry, Doctor. Because you are the cause of the whole thing. I ought to punish you. You are risking excommunication, young man.
He's the blame, not you, Doctor. I hold you responsible so your superiors will know all about this if anybody else is killed by that vampire. And I'll wait only until the next full moon, understand?
On your feet. Do as I tell you. Get up on your feet. You must obey the irresistible call of our blood, the way all the Frankenhausens have obeyed and will obey until the end of time. Don't cry out.
Who are you?
Just a friend that's come to save you.
I'm not in danger.
Yes, you are, man. Return to town this moment. And if you value your life, don't look behind you. Because if you do so, she'll place you in the most horrible living death that anyone could conceive of. Now go. I told you to go. There's no exact diagnosis. This is also strange, you know.
God help me, Doctor. He must not take her away. I couldn't bear any more sorrow.
Come, Senor Marquis. You're upset. Please, you shouldn't forget that I'm no doctor. I suppose I was alarmed when the telltale symptoms appeared at first, sir. Her eyes were glassy. She showed a paleness. Pupils dilated. And besides that, she had no pulse, sir. So I suspected a heart attack. Only now she's fine. So I really can't think she's in danger.
Doctor, tell me the truth.
The information isn't complete yet. I need more facts because I'm missing a link in the chain.
It's so confusing.
Have faith in me, Senor Marquis. I won't explain anything more now. But don't let it affect you like this. Had she suffered a heart attack the way I thought at the start, I assure you that she would be dead right now. But look.
Why is she sleeping?
Exactamente. Sleeping. But it isn't a normal state. In my opinion, it's a hypnotic sleep.
Are you trying to say that she's hypnotized?
As soon as she wakes up, then I can be sure. If she doesn't recall anything that occurred, then I won't have been mistaken. It's the principal characteristic that aids us in diagnosing these cases. Usually the subject obeys the orders of the person who hypnotized her, although she doesn't recall what she has done. In these cases, I know you can be sure. So try not to worry any longer, sir.
But who was the infamous dog who tried to?
Senor Marquis.
Es usted la persona más...
Undoubtedly the most obnoxious person that I know. Why are you here?
Don't you know that it's time for your medicine, sir?
It's to calm me down. My nerves just can't stand anymore.
I'll be going up to my room now. Should she awaken later on, I must be told right away. If she doesn't, I'll return after I get a little rest. And someone should stay at her side.
Well, I can do that.
How fortunate that I came in...
If you ever meddle in my affairs again without my orders, I'll give you a caning that you'll not forget.
I'll do it as many times as I think is necessary. The Marquis shows no prudence in these things.
And you show no respect either.
No me importa nada de lo que me diga. He de ayudar a mi señor.
Well, a master as well as the house. And must, even though in the end I sacrifice that man and more too.
My worry is my granddaughter. I didn't say anything until today. I didn't want her to suffer the terrible destiny that awaits her. But my patience and control are not endless, you know.
Only mine is infinite. And soon I'll... And right here is the reward I'm going to get.
Speak out or you're going to be sorry. Let's see that.
Only my master has a right to see this.
On this house, let me see.
No, only masters can't Frankenhausen. Pardon the intrusion, Doctor, but I came to see if you had retired.
Then she's awake, is that the reason?
Oh, no, it's only that I came to bring a bit of wine up to you, the Marquis said. To drink it before you go to bed. It can tranquilize you.
Why, thank you. That'll be all.
Oh, no, permit me. What has happened to you, Doctor?
Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. Just some papers I was looking for. I had lost them. You see?
Well, then, I'll be back as soon as I call Nacho to help you.
No, I can clean it up quite well. But thanks. I'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, then, sir. Oh, I almost forgot something. Please don't worry and get your rest, Doctor, since Brunhilde won't wake up all night long.
Explain that, please.
Oh, the same thing happens to her frequently. She's a sleepwalker.
A sleepwalker?
Don't you remember? You were there one night when she had an attack, sir. I'm sure you remember, in the study. But the Marquis is ashamed to let other people know. Only I think he's being silly.
Why, yes, of course. It's not Brunhilde's fault.
That's my opinion also. But in any case, the Marquis goes right on trying to hide the facts. And that is why he doesn't allow Miss Brunhilde to travel. There is another thing. He has even tried to deny her existence. He would have denied her existence to you had you asked about her when you got here and presented your letter the other night.
So she's a sleepwalker.
Oh, and I was going to ask you this, that you wouldn't say a word about our little talk to the Marquise.
I told you last night that before I could finish the job, there were facts that I needed.
Yes?
I obtained the data. From the gracious Fräulein Hildegard.
You mean, how could she help you?
When I retired a few hours ago, she went up to the room and began convincing me that the attacks that Brunhilde suffers are not strange, it's only somnambulism.
She said that?
And besides, she told me I wasn't to tell you because you keep it a secret.
Miserable. Well, I'll show her.
That isn't the best way, Senor Marquis. I think it better to use her own weapons this time. Secrecy. Don't tell her that we've been talking, sir. Otherwise, we'll lose.
I only know that Count Frankenhausen is suffering from an hereditary sickness that is dreadful, Doctor. And my granddaughter cannot be cured yet. She has to wait for her father to find a cure and follow in his footsteps. And it is human blood that he needs. It's the only medicine.
Just who told you such a monstrous thing?
Hildegard did. My own servant revealed the terrible secret long ago. Count Frankenhausen is a vampire, and Brunhilde will be a vampire too. That is why I decided not to do anything at all to stop these ghastly crimes.
What are you saying, sir?
Yes, to save my granddaughter's life. I think I'd be capable of murder.
But what your excellency hasn't been told is that blood is the food of the vampires, and that each new victim becomes a threat in himself. Why, in this way, your granddaughter, as well as your excellency, and the others are doomed, sir.
In that case, was the whole thing a trick? It can't be true.
I hate to say so, but it is.
And I tolerated it all. But I can't begin again now.
No, you can't begin again, sir, but you can help me to stop this thing. And I think that there's a way that I can save the girl, but only with your aid.
Just save her. And you can have this whole estate, Doctor. You can have all I possess.
I told you that I might save her, but I can't assure you. The experiments that I explained to you are the object of my trip here. They're based upon a certain product that we call clamic acid. And what's more, the professor thinks that this is the only way that we can put a stop to this terrible plague.
Now listen, if my friend Alejandro says so, then it's true. What are you waiting for then? My granddaughter's right here.
Why are we wasting so much time? I beg of you, Marquise, calm down. Try to calm down. It's more complicated than you imagine. And now it's worse. You see, someone opened my trunk and stole the instructions that my professor gave me to obtain this rare acid.
Then they robbed you right here? In my own house? Who?
Who knows? We might accuse Frau Hildegard.
Frau? I see. It had to be her. Now I recall when she started to talk about a reward.
Yes, but it doesn't matter. There's nothing to worry about since I memorized the method of obtaining it. I'll return to the capital because I can only extract it in a laboratory.
No. You work right here in my house. You see, Count Frankenhausen used to dabble in alchemy here. And naturally, he had to install a fully equipped laboratory.
Extracting clamic acid in large quantities by Count Cagliostro. Yes, this is the solution. But I can assure you that it isn't going to do you any good, Cagliostro.
Don't you think it's better to escape, Your Excellency?
Certainly not, Hildegard. Don't you realize how I can use this terrible infirmity that the Count has diagnosed? At a future date? That is to say, if he can't detain it, I'll terminate this crusade and make all men vampires.
Who could tolerate such a horror, Count?
Don't show your stupidity, Hildegard. Can't you realize the triumph of the Frankenhausens? All humanity bowing to the power of our family. Those vampires in dormant state. They'll always be the serfs, the vampires made by their only master. He's the vampire who rules. And that reign is passed to my first child if I die. So no one can resist the Frankenhausen. They'll dominate humanity.
So I must use this desperate measure because there's little time now. At least until I make the clamic acid at the haunted hacienda.
Is that a drug?
A substance that I'll inject into their veins and the vampires die immediately without having to be burned. That's how we'll get rid of all these bloodsuckers, ending the vampire plague. The drug is something they can't resist. The only thing is, I need time to make many doses. Since there are plenty of monsters out there, I figure in about 10 days we'll be ready. Clamic acid can only be found in mandragoras.
In mandragoras?
Yes, but the mandragora is not the usual plant. So they're very hard to find. And another thing, they don't have white flowers the way the others do. Their flowers are black.
Down there near the lake, you'll find the mandragoras you want. Their flowers are black.
Yes, I know about that.
How'd you find out so fast? Why, you just got here.
Well, I was sure about it since mandragoras only grow when they are close to vampires. They must have started to bloom when Count Frankenhausen arrived in this region.
That's right, Doctor. When the Count came here, the first flowers appeared.
I was sure I'd find the species here. And I know the formula with which I can extract this essential acid, gentlemen. I'll use the roots. Another thing, would you two go down there and help me to get the roots?
Wholeheartedly.
I'm not about to.
But Crescencio, you mean you're walking out now that I need you so much?
Doctor, I don't want anything to do with dead bodies, spirits, or vampires. For other things, call on me when you want for any kind of work, sir. But for this sacrilege, as Father Victor has called it, you'd do better to find another assistant.
Crescencio, you're deserting.
Well, I guess you're right, Doctor, but I'm against trouble, so excuse me, please.
Stay right where you are. I guess you'd prefer to have some monster get his fangs into you.
No, you know I don't. Dear Lord, hear my plea or I'll die of fright. Don't let the vampires drink our blood tonight.
Then sit down there and obey the doctor.
The only thing I'll ask you to do is to cut and sharpen the stakes.
Did you understand him? Try to avoid suspicion, because otherwise the priest could ruin things like he did the other night.
In that case, I don't have to go to the cemetery later to do the rest?
Yes, because who else is going to help us work?
No, let me repeat it, no!
What an imbecile you are. Didn't you understand the things the doctor was telling us?
But who would forget a thing like that? He said a vampire will die when you stick a stake in his heart, and he can't get out of his tomb then.
Not always. There are times that a stake is all that's needed. But on other occasions, it won't work like that.
Oh, no. That just makes things worse then. I'd hate to see one awaken when I start to put the stake in his heart.
They can't move, I tell you. I guarantee they can't.
They could attack us, stake and all.
Don't even say it. Anything like that would mean our complete destruction. The whole race would go under. I'd call it an invasion of vampires.
Now, who would imagine you'd find mandragoras of this color growing so close to my estate?
Another favor, Your Excellency. Please authorize me to use these facilities whenever I think it necessary.
The laboratory is yours. Here's the key, young man. Use it. It's the only one in existence, since the other one was lost with Count Frankenhausen.
Let's hope that my memory doesn't fail me, and I can call to mind the complete process for extracting clamic acid. At any rate, I'm extremely grateful, Senor Marquis.
I'm the one who should be grateful, young man, for your interest.
It's terribly easy to be interested when such a lovely girl as your granddaughter is involved in the situation.
Forgive me, but I must insist upon repeating what I told you about her before. She doesn't know the slightest thing about her father's way of life, nor the terrible destiny that awaits her if you should be so unfortunate as to fail.
I'll say it again, Your Excellency. She'll not hear a word about his condition from me. Try not to worry. Today I gave her a present that's going to help to a certain extent. A crucifix.
Good morning, Doctor.
Well, hello there. And to what do I owe the visit?
It's something disagreeable. I seem to have lost the crucifix that you gave me yesterday.
How was it lost?
It seems we're involved in a mysterious thing because I admit I tend to lose crucifixes here. Last night when I retired, I had it on, and this morning I couldn't find it.
I see. They stole it while you slept then.
Impossible. I was very cautious, used a double lock on my door.
That's a strange thing. Very strange thing.
Why is it?
Someone robbed me the same as you. Last night they took the mandragoras.
Tell me, was the door really locked when you left?
Yes, I remember to lock it. And I have the only key right here.
Well, then someone has made new keys. That's quite clear.
And the thief that took the crucifix and carried off the mandragoras last night must be very scared. And one thing is sure, Brunhilde, this person is planning to stop me in my experiments. He's planning to strike. I must discover who it is. Tell me, do you have faith in me?
You know that I do.
In that case, will you help me in this?
What is it that I'm to do? Can you tell me that? Grandfather, try to guess where I accompanied the doctor this afternoon.
No, I'm not a good guesser.
To the shores of Dead Man's Lake.
To that place? Don't you know that I'm strongly opposed to your going there?
Why, Senor Marquis? Is there anything wrong in her going there?
Wrong? No, Doctor. I simply mean that the place is uninviting. Why must the girl be exposed to more danger? I worry because it's not safe there.
But Grandpa, darling, the lagoon is the most beautiful sight I know.
You know so few places around here.
Please, I apologize. The whole thing is my fault.
It's really not important, Doctor. But I prefer that you didn't take her there again.
Then we won't return, sir. She helped me so much that in an hour we gathered all the mandragoras I need.
It's true, Grandfather. I picked a large quantity of mandragoras.
I made a small map so that we won't forget where we hid them. You'd better take it, Brunhilde.
I'd be glad to, Doctor.
A map to show where you hid flowers?
Yes, Grandfather, like the ones used by pirates when they hide their treasures.
You might think we're a little childish, Senor Marquis. But the map that I made is more important than any treasure that the pirates buried.
along perfectly without you.
You're bobbing around worse than a ship in a storm, Don Efron.
Let me go.
Come on. Come on. Please come on, Don Efron.
No.
Here they come! Here they come!
They've gotten out of their tombs! They've gotten out of their tombs! Who got out of their tombs?
The vampires did.
You must be drunk!
No, they're coming towards us this moment. I'm warning the whole town. The priest has to know. Those beasts will murder us. The vampires are out. The vampires!
Come on, Don Efron!
Who's that idiot that shouts so much?
Didn't you hear? The vampires are out!
Vampires?
They're coming towards town to murder us!
Vampires? That's just hogwash.
Please hurry or they'll catch us. And then they'll want my blood, and then my face will turn pale and I'll look ugly.
Crescencio, you're just an ignorant fool. You're retarded.
Well, please hurry. That man isn't lying.
Where are the vampires dead?
They'll be here in just a moment.
Oh, you idiot. There are no vampires. They're rumors, that's all.
Well, I don't know, but I'm plenty scared. I'm going to warn the alcalde now. The vampires are out! The vampires
You're an idiot. You're retarded. Those rumors don't exist.
What's the matter, Nacho? Yes, I think something serious is afoot if the bells are ringing at this hour.
Grandfather, what's the matter?
I don't know. I really don't.
Those are the alarm bells. Something's happened.
Yes, I hear it too, but I really don't know what's going on.
Could be that it's a fire.
Possibly, my dear. Who knows? Since these storms at times bring lightning, and that must have begun a tremendous fire. But then you shouldn't worry. Just forget it and try to rest. I'll send someone into town and find out what it's all about.
You'd all better stay in the house.
Well, what happened to you?
You're bleeding. What is it?
It's nothing at all.
Why did you say that we should stay?
Because I know what's troubling the people. They're not ringing for volunteers to put out any sudden forest fire. Those bells mean they should prepare their defenses.
Defenses?
Yes. Another thing we should start preparing. We'll need all the help we can get. I could use about 30 more hands. You see, there isn't much time now.
Come here, Doctor. Now listen, do you suppose that...
It's no supposition, Marquis. It's a certainty.
But I understood you to say that only when he's dead with those others,
It's happened, sir.
Tell me about it, please.
Well, just now, we fought and I was forced to kill him. I'm sorry.
What's this all about? Won't you please tell me, explain this business? What's this about defenses? Who is it that makes us need defenses?
Brunhilde, I think it's time that we informed you. This is the correct moment, and you should be told. Wait, don't open up. It might be dangerous. I'll open it.
Open up! Open up! It's me, Crescencio, the alcalde. They're coming! They're coming! Save yourselves any way you can.
What happened to you, Doctor? Nothing. I'll explain later. And all the townspeople saw refuge in the church.
But Don Efron stayed out in the street, shouting insults at us, calling us idiots and cowards, and lots of other things.
We came running to warn you that they're approaching the Hazienda.
And now that you know that, we'll run further.
Listen, you'd better stay right here. You can't flee from those creatures.
They're going to get us. They're going to get us.
No, they won't get us. The bell warned us also. When you two arrived, we were preparing a method of defense.
Then you already knew.
The doctor's well informed about the situation. There's a reason.
How will we defend ourselves?
There's an effective method. We can hang mandragora roots in the doors and windows. They can't get close to it.
Impossible. Dead Man's Lake is 2 miles away. They'll get here soon.
You don't understand. I have mandragoras here.
Look, tell me more about it. You can tell me in more detail later on tonight. Now, just what is it that you have all been talking about? Who is approaching the house?
The vampires, young lady.
Get a hold of yourself.
It's Mama! It's Mama!
No, it's a trick. Don't listen.
It's Mama! She's waiting!
No, you heard a vampire call. Paulino! It is my son! Your son is dead! My son is out there! I want to see him! But they'll tell you too! It doesn't matter! I want to see Paulino! You'll die if you go out there, Alcalde! They'll make you a vampire! Do you want that fate? But it's Paulino! It's Paulino! I loved one call you, but they only mean to kill us all! This is a trap they set up for us. Try to be strong. They'll return to the house each night. Stop to think how they must suffer because of their awful fate. Destiny rules that each day they'll return to their tombs, only they can't rest. They really beg salvation. How long will it be? How long will the nightmare last? Until we can make the necessary acid. I promise to work day in and day out.
They want Papa.
Yes, Count Frankenhausen is here.
Here? At the Hazienda?
Yes.
I want to talk to him now.
No, that's not possible.
Why not?
Because your father is dead.
Father's dead?
There's something more. He was the king of the vampires.
No. It's impossible.
Please try to face it. It's the truth. He's in the laboratory.
Then take me there.
But listen, child. You don't want to see such a gruesome sight. I don't think you could bear it.
That's not important. He's my father. So take me there, I beg of you.
No, not right now. It's much better to wait until we bring Count Frankenhausen to his natural state again. You'll see your father's body when his body is normal. Right now, he's nothing more than a vampire, but dead.
No! 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 Nothing but lies. You're a liar. Count Frankenhausen cannot be dead. He'll never die because he cannot be killed.
Shut up, Frau Hildegard.
Lies, filthy lies. Soon Count Frankenhausen will be master of the world. When he transforms us into vampires, he said he could do it. He'll rule the whole world. There's no way to kill him.
Hold your tongue, Hildegard. Don't show more stupidity. The Count's dead, we know.
No! No, stop lying. The master can't be dead. No one can kill him, you stupid fools, because he has an immortal soul.
Count Frankenhausen has been killed. I know because I did it. He wanted to kill me, suck my blood. But he won't hurt you now. I tried to explain it, but you can't understand the danger we're in while those awful monsters still wait outside. There are other things that you must be told. I didn't want to show you this tragic spectacle, but obviously there's no other way. So come along. It's Don Ephraim. The man's dead.
He had enough liquor in him last night to kill 100 men.
His death was not due to alcohol. He was killed last night by a vampire.
Because he rejected the Lord, preferring to stay in the street instead of taking refuge in God's house last night. Oh, dear God, have mercy on this man.
Amen.
Father, we came down here to ask for your help.
And just what can I do for you?
I know a way which may detain the vampires. So I came to ask you to gather together all the townspeople for a meeting.
Yes. Well, now, son, you must understand that I must be very cautious. Since you always propose methods that are, well, let's say sacrilegious. Let's hear it then, this idea.
Just a second. He was old and pig-headed. That's why he's lying there.
I guess he wins. I'll call a meeting.
It's the acid. I've had success at last. I knew I could. I've got it. I've got it. I've got it. I've got the substance I needed. The climax acid will kill the vampires. There's no more reason to worry about the vampires.
It's marvelous. Just marvelous, Doctor.
Hildegard! Hildegard!
No, darling, you mustn't.
You shouldn't worry now. Count Frankenhausen is no longer a vampire. He's an inoffensive cadaver, harmless like all others. The same as that group of vampires when I filled their veins and they returned to normal.
And my granddaughter, is she going to get well?
I can assure you, Senor Marquis, the climax acid is the thing that will cure your granddaughter. Since the malediction will disappear forever, and that's freedom for the Frankenhausens.
glad that you're dead, Count Frankenhausen. Say goodbye to Don Efren.
Here lie Count and Countess Frankenhausen and Frau Hildegard, their faithful servant who would not abandon them even when they journeyed to the great beyond.
Well, so much for the triumph of Count Frankenhausen.
Oh, yeah, and poor Hildegard, man, that chick really ended up having a bad day. I mean, that's like taking being a faithful servant just a little too far. You could kind of say she went over the edge.
Yes, she did. But you know, I really like this one. There have been a lot of vampire movies made over the past 100 years or so, and for this one to still play pretty good, K. Gordon Murray's dubbing aside, I just think it's very cool.
Well, yeah, maybe pretty cool, but you know, vampires always seem to come from like Europe and Mexico, exotic places, and why don't we ever see vampires from Utah or Pismo Beach?
Or Buffalo.
Oh boy, I think it might be time for us to wrap up another visit to and from the Hungry Ear.
Well, you know, right you are, Zelda, and we hope you dig the invasion of the vampires as much as we did, because we dig all this stuff the most. So be sure you join us again here on Offbeat Cinema, where the coffee's always hot and the movies are oh so cool.
And never, ever forget, keep watching the skies. Keep watching the sky.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.